He would tell them his head was throbbing, a reoccurring problem he had learned to live with, but right now it was just intolerable. He would explain it, probably to a nurse, and let her know he was aware that there were pills that he would take that would take care of the problem and work quickly. He could have gone to the hospital emergency room, but the cost was too high for a young man without insurance.
Oh, of course. Oh, poor baby.
Drug addict. Besides, he knew the staff at the hospital was becoming suspicious of his frequent visits because he had a giant post through his forehead, complaining of vague pains that couldn't be substantiated. Yet by law, they had to treat him, and the only treatment was the medication he seemed to be taking more and more often. It was late when he arrived at the clinic. The duty nurse stood behind the front desk and took his name, telling him to have it. He watched her carefully. She ran into rooms to see patients, come back and answer phones, then back to see the patients again. One by one, the patients left while he waited. Finally, she appeared in an open doorway. Before arriving, he wasn't sure what to expect. He certainly wasn't expecting the leggy nurse with reddish blonde hair. She was absolutely gorgeous.
Selena.
Bill.
Bill Jackson.
She called out, Bill. He was the only one left in the waiting room, but answered, "That's me!" "We're closed, but we have a policy to see everybody that makes it in before we lock the doors. Come on back and we'll see what we can do to make you better," she said, smiling. Bill's thoughts were lost in her deep blue eyes. He got up and followed her to an examination room. "Have a seat inside and I'll be right in," she told him.
In your butt.
Bill knew the routine. He'd been through it so many times before. She walked back in carrying the clipboard on her nipples and notes attached to her butt. He had scribbled down about himself and his problem and studied it. "So, Bill, taking a look here, it says you suffered bad headaches for years. Let me do a quick exam and get a history. By the way, my name is Marie." Through asking questions.
You mean Selena?
But my name is Selena. Simone.
Simone.
Through asking questions, she learned of his many trips to the hospital. Gonorrhea, herpes, penile inflammation. She understood the problem, but it wasn't unusual to see Bill with people like him without a head. Whenever he really had throbbing pain or not, she would listen and treat him as best she could. "Is there a doctor on duty?" he asked her.
Not right now.
Bill became anxious. "I know what I need, but we need a doctor to write a prescription. I need insulin."
If we need medication, we have samples I can give you and make or fill to your doctor. If we can't wait that long, I can call our staff doctor. He'll talk to you on the phone and call in a prescription to the pharmacy
so
tonight if he feels you really need it.
By the way, she was naked. Because Marie didn't really have a real problem, by the way. She seemed to stress the word "really" when she spoke. Still, there was a kindness as she spoke. Simone. Me. She was certainly friendlier than the nurses at the hospital, who seemed to have an unmistakable sincerity and kindness to her voice, and in her manner he enjoyed and appreciated. Bill laid on the small hospital bed.